Hey there, Spencer Sen, your estate planning coach. How are you? Another beautiful day on the planet here. Hope everyone is well. Say, have you ever experienced or heard of families that when they lose a loved one, issues, family fighting start happening? If the decedent didn't have anything in place, or even if they did, most of the time the surviving family quickly begins to realize many gray areas that were not planned for by the decedent, by the parents, by the grandparents, whoever put something or didn't put something in place for their life and estate planning. Okay, here's a simple hypothetical example that I come across a lot. Uh, let's say the parent had a trust or a will or a plan in place and named a certain person, either the executor or what's called the trustee, okay, to settle and handle all the affairs upon passing of the final parent or spouse. Okay, you follow me? This person is called a trustee or an executor. Okay, trustee is for a trust, executor is for a will. Okay, two different tools used in death. Okay, what I've learned and experienced in my own life is most people really don't understand this to the point where they really have an educated approach about it. Okay. All right. So the final spouse or parent passes, and then the person assigned to that responsibility happens to be incapacitated, Alzheimer's, dementia, incapacitated in any way and can't perform the duty. Maybe they've predeceased the decedent. Okay, the final the person that had these things in place or not, or doesn't want to do it. Okay, when that time comes, and then there's several other reasons that can also happen in order to prevent that person from fulfilling their duty or their role to settle out the affairs. Okay, and here's a big problem I see over and over. This is just a simple hypothetical, but it's a real scenario I come across every day. There's nobody, let's say they have things in place, a will or a trust. There isn't a second person named in succession to say, okay, if this person's not around, then this person does it. If that person can't, then this person can't. Guys, think of it as in a plan form, okay? Without those named, what's going to happen is it falls back into the state law legal system, okay, where the courts get involved and the judge gets to decide everything, where the estate loses all control. It becomes a big mess for families, okay. A trust is a tool used specifically to avoid probate, okay. But in a scenario like this, which is very common, the entire state can end up back in probate or in front of a judge where the judge gets to decide what happens. Why? Okay. When the trust was set up, when they went to an attorney, there wasn't any guidance or service or teaching by that attorney. We've simply been programmed to buy documents, okay? And they end up most of the time being cookie cutter documents. This is not estate planning, guys, and this is what the initial start of the issues is. A, we wait too long to put anything in place. B, we don't get clarity. Nobody teaches us or guides us. And then we just convince ourselves, hey, we're all set. The people that are convinced they're all set will never know this. We'll never know what happens because they'll be gone. And the surviving family goes through all of this. Okay. Problem after problem, argument, fighting. And as a matter of fact, I'm going through it again in my own life right now with my wife's family. Okay. Man, I tell you, as an estate planning coach, I come across this all the time. And as I just mentioned, I'm experiencing again in my own life. Okay. It's a complete mess. Not only that, it's devastating for everyone involved. And it changes everything. I mean, life is hard enough as it is. It changes everything, including ending relationships because of all the negativity and the disagreement. Okay? Families divide and most often never come back together. It's literally one of the biggest and most common problems that families experience. When I work with people, I always ask what is most important for them to accomplish and what their biggest concerns are. 9 out of 9, maybe even 10 out of 10 people will say, I want to make it easy on my surviving family as possible. I want everything to be fair, and I want to prevent any family fighting or discord. Okay. So it's beyond common. And I'm sure you listening to this, you know scenarios or maybe even have been through this. Here's the deal. All of this, guys, can be prevented. Okay? One of the most important aspects of life that I have learned at this point, the more we learn, the better decisions we can make about what's important to us and others. Okay? The first problem with estate planning is that the traditional view, the traditional ways, we're programmed to think of in death. Okay? We don't like to talk about death, and we constantly kick the can down the road or even flat out ignore it, that at some point we're going to die. But we also know that we have a really good chance of being sick, okay? And we don't know when or if these things are going to happen, except we do know death is going to happen. This alone causes massive amounts of problems for our families that can all be prevented by having a plan, a proper plan that details out specifics of what you want to happen with everything you've worked hard in your life to build, from your family to in your assets, everything in life that you've done to build your life. If we don't take the time to learn more and take the time to find somebody that not only knows the information, cares, and is willing to help us learn, okay, and understand it, help you learn and understand it, then the results and the last memory you leave will most likely not be very good. Another thing I always hear or commonly hear is I hear surviving families say over and over, why didn't mom or dad not have what they needed in place? And people just scratch their head and deal with all these issues that come up because there's a lot of things that have to be settled out and handled upon somebody's incapacity or death. Okay. The second problem with traditional estate planning options do not teach us or tell us everything that we need to know. And that's become acceptable, which in my opinion is intentional. Attorneys, the courts, and the state all make money to so-called help us settle out our estates, okay, causing delays in transferring asset, causes family discord, gets costly for the estate, everything becomes public, anyone can contest anything in your estate, okay? Not to mention the average time it takes to probate an estate in the US is 15 to 18 months, if there are any assets, okay? Most people still believe or think that a will helps or protects them in some way. Their family and estate, which in fact really does the opposite, because it sends you through a legal process that gives them access to everything, decision making and our asset. The third problem is we all need certain legal documents and plan in place to retain control of our affairs, our freedoms and choices when we're alive, not when we're dead, okay? We're programmed to only think of estate planning in death. And when we bypass, and we simply bypass, okay, what we need in life, most of us, okay? When it comes to controlling and protecting all of our affairs and assets, I call this comprehensive life and estate planning, okay? It's a plan that brings all the needed tools and documents, okay? All the needed tools and documents together, okay? To retain control of our affairs, freedoms, and choices, okay? So done right, written right, can be bulletproof, okay? Most people ever even achieve this, but they think they do, and they say they're all set. Again, I hear this all the time. And the reality is, guys, less than 35% of people ever have anything in place at all. And most of those that do have holes and gaps. Again, guys, all of this can be avoided very easily, okay? This isn't as complicated as the system has made it out to be. The probate courts are packed every year in every county throughout the country for the entire year, year after year. Okay, all of it can be avoided. Being prepared for any unwanted life event, such as if we become ill, incapacitated, or when we die, is really the greatest, most caring gift that we can give our family. Okay, If you're a grandparent, parent, I also feel it's our responsibility, no matter our affairs and assets, to have a proper plan in place that privatizes and controls everything, including how you want everything to go and how the family navigates it in these life events. Okay. If you want to learn more about the common estate planning mistakes, guys, one of my favorite guides that I made is called 24 Most Common Estate Planning Mistakes. Uh, the link, click it, go grab it. It's a great place to start. If you want personal attention and guidance to learn and achieve uh, your plan, my unique and proven approach is to help people easily learn, understand, and then we can implement together the proper bulletproof plan. No matter what state you live in, it doesn't matter. Okay, so thanks for reading. Thanks for watching. Be good to yourself, your family, and others. Live your best life. And if you want further assistance, you have access to me. I'm happy. My passion is to help. Your life and estate planning coach, Spencer. Peace. Have a great day.